So I recently watched Capitalism, a Love Story by Michael Moore. I thought I'd give my brief general thoughts on the movie in this video, and then later videos I will give details about some problems from Moore, why he was having the problems, and some solutions, and so on. And so that'll be like, this will probably be a 4-part video series on Capitalism, a Love Story. I watched it about like a week ago, so it's not too foggy in my mind, but hopefully I remember most things. So I'm going to give this a grade out of 5. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to grade it. I guess just based on like the accuracy in this movie in particular, it'd be the accuracy and the believability and that kind of stuff, and how much I liked it in general. So the movie kind of starts off. First off, I've watched Michael Moore before. I've watched Bowling for Columbine twice, and I've watched Fahrenheit 9/11 once, and I haven't watched anything else by him. But after watching this, I don't think there's much else to really watch. I get his basic philosophy and his ideas. And he's more or less a social democrat. There's not much else to say, and so I don't really agree with Moore. I agree with a lot of his analysis, but I don't agree with the solutions a lot of the time. So in this video it was pretty apparent because he was basically attacking the current system that the U.S. is based on, which he calls capitalism, which he says it's a system of giving and taking, mostly taking. That's how he defined it at the beginning of the movie, which is a pretty lame definition. It doesn't take into account the means of production or how capital is owned or anything like that. So he's not exactly using an economist's definition of capitalism, nor is he using some historical definition. He's just kind of using his own definition, which makes sense because capitalism is a word that has so many meanings that it's basically arbitrary by now. So I didn't really mind the definition. It was kind of funny, but I mean, if he wants to be serious and wants to be taken seriously, then he should probably use a serious definition. His examples of why capitalism is more of a system of taking was basically wealth disparity, high taxes on the poor and not on the rich, evictions of poor families from their homes, how the system is set up in general. Excuse me. So you use stuff like that, which are all byproducts of the current system, but I don't know if I define it as capitalism. Later on I'm going to define capitalism, God help me, and because there's so many damn definitions, so I'm probably in the wrong. But I'm going to try to define capitalism in a later video, and then I'll try to compare it to his. But my general thoughts on the movie, I liked it, but I felt like a lot of the accuracy, as always with Moore, was kind of lacking. When he was interviewing senators about their viewpoint on the bailout, he basically only interviewed Democrats. He didn't interview any Republicans or Libertarians or anything like that. Not like there are many Libertarian congressmen and women, but I don't know, you could have given the other side of things. But the accuracy, it was kind of distorted. He kind of usually only told half of the story, like most people who do these kind of documentaries, and then kind of expected us to take it as the truth. Like I said, I liked most of his analysis of the system, but I didn't really care for his solutions, which included like democracy and like voting different leaders in. And, a broken system is a broken system. You don't change a broken system by using the system to fix itself. But I did like a few of his solutions, like worker cooperatives. I like that, and democracy within the right context I think is cool, like direct democracy within voluntary communities. That's pretty cool. How he defined the system basically was, in a sort of way I liked it. He called it the new managerial aristocracy, which I liked it, but there's nothing new about it, and I'll get into that later. But overall, I enjoyed the movie, but the end kind of killed it for me, because in the end he basically lauds Obama and says that he's the answer to all of our prayers, except that Obama was bought out by the corporations too. So in his donations, Moore even pointed out in his campaign donations that Obama got basically the same corporations that any politician would get, and so I don't really see how Obama is any sort of new change or hope. So basically he rested on that Obama was going to change everything, and that somehow, I don't know, the government would fix itself and stop being so corrupted by corporations. I don't buy it, but The end kind of ruined the movie for me because he was really good up to that point. I mean, there were some semantical issues, some terms he conflated. He blamed the free market for things that it was framed for, which I'll also get into later. But it's just he's kind of dishonest about a lot of stuff he talks about, but he's also a good, genuine person, I think, in some ways. And I think that this movie kind of proved his intentions, and said it's the friggin' people who are gonna change the system and all that. But I don't know. I'm not really with him on his solutions, like I said, and I was kind of disappointed by the end of the movie. So I mean, overall, I guess it'd be like a 3 out of 5 or something like that. It wasn't really that great of a movie, and I don't really think it's that necessary for, especially for anarchists or anti-statist. I don't really think it's a necessary movie to really watch to get an idea of what the system is. You could look at a lot of other people who have said this much better and who have done a lot better critiques and who haven't blamed the free market for it. So I don't really. If you don't have much else to do, like I didn't, I guess I'd recommend watching the movie. But I think there are much better critiques of the current system and calling it capitalism. Like you could look at the individualist anarchist Benjamin Tucker, and he called himself a socialist, and he would critique the current system as monopoly capitalism, like Marx did. So you could look at that instead of I mean, a lot has changed, but Tucker's still right on the money in a lot of things, I think. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend this movie. It's alright, but it's nothing really worth watching. You really need to. If you've seen Bowling for Columbine, if you've seen Fahrenheit 9/11, I haven't seen Sicko, but at this point I don't really want to. It's probably more of the same kind of crap. And I like some of Moore's stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm just not convinced, and I don't really think he makes good arguments. And I really think he's misguided on a lot of his things. So that's my opinion on the movie as a general whole. The next 3 videos will basically be about specific issues you brought up and trying to sort of solve the false dichotomies and false concepts that he brings up. So that's about it.